Hey folks, Stuart here from Quick Shopify Tutorials. On today's episode, we're going to be looking at how we set up product collections inside Shopify.
Collections are effectively a group of products, but they can be quite a powerful tool and can be used in many different ways to great effect on your store. You can effectively group products in many different ways. Say, for instance, you have a fashion store and you sell t-shirts, pants, dresses, and shoes. So you could create a collection for each of those categories. This is really helpful for your customers for wayfinding, for being able to find the particular products they're looking for. You might have these products come from different brands. You might be selling different brands. And so you could create a collection for each of these brands based on the vendor that's set up on your product. Or you could use your collections to highlight specific products, things that might be trending, things that might be new to the store, or things that might be on sale. It's a very versatile tool. So to find collections, we're going to click on the products link in the sidebar, and once that's loaded, the collections link will be available. So we'll click on that. Now, and I've mentioned this in a previous video, but when you start up your Shopify store, Shopify will give you a collection that's already set up by default. This is called the homepage collection, and it's pretty much what it says on the tin. It's designed for you to put some products in and then display them on your homepage. So the first thing you'll notice is that this is very similar to a lot of the other screens that we've seen so far. We have a title, we have a description. It just works in the same way, except this is talking about the whole collection rather than the individual products. We also have a collection image, which we can upload if we want. So if we've got a banner image that we want to display on the collection page, this is a great place to upload that. Same with the other pages that we've been to. We can manage whether this collection is available to our customers on our sales channels and when this collection might be published. Now, that's not going to affect the products within it. That's just the grouping of those products. So products might still be available on separate channels. They might be already published, but this particular collection, this group of them, is not. And the other thing you'll notice that's the same as what we've already seen before is the search engine listing preview. So again, we have the page title, we have a meta description, and we have a handle. So this should all be very familiar to you. So the part of the collection page here that is different is this products area. And this is effectively actually just a list of the products that are in this collection. Now, as you can see, we can add products from a list of existing products, and as I click on this, it's going to add it to the list, and we can see we've now got 2 products in this list, and we can sort them. So this is a really, really basic collection. Now, there's actually 2 types of collections that we can create. What we're looking at right now is a standard collection. This is a very kind of manual way of adding products to the collections. You can either do it through the screen as I've just done, or you can do it on the product page where you select a collection, which again, this was covered in an earlier video. But say we want to be a little bit more intelligent about how our collection is populated. So what I'm going to do is we're going to actually jump back to collections, and we're going to create a new collection. Now, this collection I'm going to call teas. This is going to be basically all the teas that I have in my store. I'm going to group them together into a collection so that they'll be separate from whatever other products that I have. Now, you'll notice that this products box is a little bit different. There is this option that we have, and it's asking if you wanted to make a manual collection or an automated collection, or sometimes it's called a smart collection. This is where you get to choose whether you want to hand curate these products by adding them manually to the collection, and this might be appropriate for you for the kind of collection that you're building. The other option is to create an automated an automated collection, which will use these conditions that we get to set down here. We'll go into that in a second, but it's very important to note that once you've created a collection, once you've chosen whether you want it to be a manual or an automated collection, there's no going back. You can't change the way that collection pulls in its products after the fact. So if you find that you've gone and done it the wrong way, you've accidentally not clicked the right button, the way to get around that is that you can just trash that collection, you can delete it, and then you can start again. So this one's going to be an automated collection, and we're just going to go through some of these conditions that we can create. So we can, first off, we can set whether this matches all of the conditions that we set or any of the conditions that we set. So there's a little bit of logic there. You might need to play with that to really kind of get your head around how that's going to work for you. So if you have it set to all conditions, it's a little bit more strict than if you have any conditions. So then we have the ability to choose a property on the product. This can be tag, this can be the title, it can be a type or vendor. We can do stuff by price, weight, how many are in stock, or variant title. So for this, I'm going to select type. We can then choose the operator for our condition. Some of them will be available to us, and some of them won't be, depending on the type of property that we've chosen. And so I'm just going to say is equal to, and then I'm going to select T. So this is the type I've already set up on my products. You'll remember from the earlier product video that we did it in a way where it was going to use one type across all the products, and then this is why we wanted to do that, so that we can group them together like this. So I can add another condition. And this one I'm going to actually say I want to only include t-shirts that have a stock greater than 0. So we don't want to include any products in this collection that are out of stock. And so now I'm just going to hit save, and we will see that this has gone ahead and populated the products area for this collection, and it's pulled in all of our products. Now, so you can see that the conditions are still here, and we can tweak these conditions if we need to. Now, just to show you how this works, how this works automatically, I'm going to jump into one of these products. I'm going to set its inventory quantity to 0. And then I'm going to jump back into our collection. And you can see that T is no longer there in that collection because it's no longer matching the conditions that we've set. Right, so then the last thing to do is to view our collection and actually see what that looks like on the website, how this is going to be visible to the customer. And you can see that we've got our 3 products in our collection, and then clicking through these products will take us into each of those product detail pages. If I was to click on the home page, then you can see that this is the collection that we set up. That was our homepage collection, and you can see how that's different.
So that's it for today. I hope that was helpful. If you've got any questions, leave them below in the comments. If you want to see more of these, then remember to hit the like button or subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.